Thank you very much. So good to be here tonight. Great crowd. So Halloween's coming up. I hope this Halloween goes a lot better than last year, because last year had a little bit of a mix-up. I asked my buddy, I said, what are you doing for Halloween? He says, well, I'm going abroad. Sounds like a good idea to me, right? So I dress up, I go over to his house, knock on his door, I say, hey, where are you? You're not there, right? I call him on the phone. He's like, I told you, I'm going abroad. I said, well, I'm going abroad too. I'm at your house, I'm dressed up, I got my high heels on, I got my skirt on, I'm looking pretty sharp. He's like, no, stupid, I'm over in Europe. So, well, that's a fine kettle of fish. Here I am over at your house. So now I gotta walk home, and I'm walking down the street, and I got these guys rolling down the windows. Hey, sweetheart, you want to get in my car? I got a bag of Skittles. A bag of Skittles? I'm worth a Snickers at least. I mean, come on. So anybody here got kids? Woo! Kids are great, ain't they? But I'll tell you, they can turn you into an Elvis impersonator real quick. You don't believe me, do you? You come walking down your stairs some night, middle of the night, walk around the corner, and you kick a Tonka truck barefoot. And turn you right into an Elvis impersonator. Now, they can also turn you into a James Brown impersonator. Same night, a little while later, you're walking down around the corner, and you step on one of those labels barefooted. Wow, that didn't feel good, now did it? Oh, no good. No good. I'm going to whip you. Put your toys away, kid. This is a fantastic room. I love being here. It's nice and cozy and quaint. So I'm assuming there's a lot of married people here.
Woo!
All right. I've been married for 4 years, and my wife is fantastic. Sometimes I say things to my wife that I don't really mean, because my mind and my words, they don't mix together sometimes. So one day my wife, she asked me, she says, honey, does this dress make me look fat? Now I should have said, oh, fine, you look just great just the way you are. What come out of my mouth was, no, the fat around your waist makes you look fat. The dress is just a magnifying glass that makes it really stand out. Well, that got me in the doghouse. That's not even half the stuff. One time, she goes, honey, do these shoes make my feet look big? And I should have said, no, in case your girls would be so jealous of your small little feet. What come out of my mouth was, yabba dabba doo, Fred Flintstone. And that got me into trouble. And the doghouse is getting closer and closer every time I open my mouth. You know, we like to go out, and she likes to put on makeup, and she's not that great at it. One day we're going out, and she comes out and she says, honey, does this makeup look okay? Again, I should have said, looks fine, a little touch up, you'll be all right. What I said was, no, is the circus in town? Who are you, Laffy the Clown? Well, that put me in the doghouse. I mean, I'm in the doghouse so much, the dog kicked me out, and I'm starting to get fleas. So we got any people that like to fly or been flying quite a bit lately? Nobody, huh?
Going
Well, that's good. Stay away from the airplanes. I used to work for an airline company that used to actually work on the planes and put them together. And when you see an inside of an airplane that's been totally stripped down, you don't want to get on an airplane. But they've recently changed the comfort pet policy on airplanes, where you can't take a lot of the smaller animals that you used to be able to take before. But there's one animal that you can take on an airplane, and this is going to blow your mind when I tell you, because when I found out that this is absolutely true, I was like, no way. You can bring a small miniature pony on an airplane with you as long as it's well behaved and it's trained. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why would you have a pony on an airplane? Well, apparently they have these C&I ponies, and I researched this. They're actually in Massachusetts. They train them for people who are blind and need help. Can you imagine where you put this on an airplane? Because you can't. The rules say it can't stay in an aisle seat. It can't be in the aisle. You can't put them in the luggage rack, and he's no good to you in the cargo hold. What's he going to do, sit up with a pilot? I mean, I can hear this now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Captain Johnson, and we're flying with my co-pilot, Mr. Ed. Sit back and relax, and watch your steps as you're going up and down the aisle, because Mr. Ed's been through a few times. So, let me pick on my stepmother here for a minute before I say thank you and good night. My stepmother lives down in Texas, and she's one of those stepmothers who, how do you say Halloween, flies on a broom? Yeah. When I was living down there, she's done some crazy stuff. She's about as smart as a brick, and that's putting it about as mild as I can. So down in Texas, they have these little red ants, and when they bite you, they put a little welt on you, kind of like a pimple. Well, she decided one time that she don't want any ants in her backyard, so she's gonna wreck their home, and they won't come around anymore, right? So she decides she's gonna fire up a lawnmower and ride over the top of the house, and it'll, destroy their home, and they'll leave. So she rides over the top of it, and it covers her like somebody poured a bucket of water on her from head to toe in these ants. And they just chewed her up, and she's screaming, "Oh, get him off of me, get him off of me." So my dad's out there hosing her off, About 5 minutes later, she's peppered from head to toe in these white dots. A blind man could read Braille on her, and it would have said, "I'm stupid," all over her body. She's not all that bright. Another time she decides, I know the surest way to get rid of these little red ants. So she takes a gallon of gas, and she pours it on top of their anthill, and she lights the match, and whoop, there goes her eyebrows, her bangs, her hair. She looked like a naked prairie dog for about a month. That was like the funniest thing I ever did see. Oh, man. So, there is married people here. That's awesome. Me and my wife, sometimes we get in these little spats, and we have these little kind of fun trickery things that we like to do. One time I made her a little upset. So her payback to me, she put some green food coloring in my body wash. So I looked like Hulk for a couple days, which was kind of amusing. Well, I like to get back at her, though, because she kind of set me off. My biggest pet peeve is when you're making peanut butter and fluff sandwich and you mix the two together. It drives me insane. So she did that, and my little payback for her was at nighttime. I went into the bathroom, I unscrewed the light bulb, and I left the seat up. So when she goes in and sits down, I hear a big splash and a scream. That's always amusing to me. So, my name is Stephen Douglas. I want to thank everybody and appreciate it. Thank you.